Hello and welcome. My name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today and welcome back to our second card for Christmas scraps. So if you didn't see my video on Monday, basically I was clearing away my desk and I had lots of Christmas scrap paper left over. And I was thinking, what on earth do I do with it? So this was Monday's card. So pop back to Monday if you want to see how this one was made. This is lots of strips of card. And so today we are going for this one. So this is my male version, but we're going to make a Christmas version. So let me bring in my bag first of all. So let me say, this is my bag of scraps. So I have got Christmas papers here from, well, quite a few years back now. I don't know if any of you remember the gnomes or the gonks paper, so that's quite a few years back, but I was focusing on my Christmas paper from this year. So I dug out these strips and what I've done is I've cut myself down 2 pieces that measure 1/2 inch by 4.5, and then I have 2 pieces that measure 1/2 inch by 2 3/4, and then I have a sentiment strip which measures 2.25 by 4.25. I have a piece of Night of Navy, whereas the original one on here I used white. I'm using my Night of Navy. This is 3 3/4 by 5.5, and then of course I have got my card base which measures 8 inches by 5 3/4. So this card works with, or this design works with any kind of sentiment. So what you'll notice is my Merry Christmas design or stamp is a lot bigger than my Happy Birthday. So to work out how to do it, work out how big your sentiment is going to be. So this, let's get my ruler. So my original sentiment strip was 3.5 by 1 3/4. And then I knew that I wanted a little border around it, and that gave me enough space for a 3/4 inch strip. Now obviously if your sentiment is smaller in height and width, you can make those strips down to 1 inch, or depending on how small your sentiment, depending on how wide your strips are going to be, length shouldn't change. Okay, so that is a 3/4 inch. And the ones I'm using for this, because my Happy Christmas is, or my Merry Christmas is a lot bigger, are 1/2 inches. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, pop these 2 out of the way, bring in my Night of Navy, a scrap of paper. Let's put all of that onto here, move those out of the way. And then I'm going to ink up my Merry Christmas. Let's do that. There we go. There's my Merry Christmas. There's my strip. And as I say, this is 2.25 by 4.25. It is actually quite a big sentiment. And worked really well for Christmas cards. So it's one of the ones I will be keeping hold of because I want to make sure that that appears again next year. Right, okay, so I've stamped it up. Because it's so large, I've taken the ink pad to the sentiment rather than the other way around. And let's stamp this the best we can. So I'm going to bring that down because I can't see. I've got all my lights on, but for some reason I seem to be working in the dark today, so apologies. Okay, there we go. So that's the Merry Christmas. Perfect. Right. So that now can sit over here and we can begin. So for those of you that, oh, sorry about that. For those of you that want to, you can score this at 4 inches, or you can just fold it, making sure that the edges meet each other. And then you can, with your bone folder, push down the crease. But otherwise, it's a 4 inch mark. scored. Now that will go onto there once I've put my sentiment and my designer series paper on. So let's grab my stamp and seal. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hover them there so I know that I'm happy with positioning before I glue them down. Always best to check these things twice before having a hiccup. There we go. So that will go into there. And then the sentiment will go slap bang in the middle. So work out where your sentiment is. There we go. So maybe the best thing to do on this one, because it is so large, is to stick our sentiment down first. Right, I'm just going to take a tad off each end. I don't want to take too much off because obviously that will cut into it, but I'm just literally going to take almost 1/8 of an inch off. As you can see, a hair's breadth. Like that, quite slim. And I'm going to turn that around and do exactly the same onto the other. There we go. So as I said, it's just a way to work around your sentiment. Right, let's bring that back in. Push those out a bit. And then that will go into there. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do on this case, I'm going to stick this down first. I think that's probably the best. Okay. There we go. Right, so then what we're going to do is just a strip down the middle here. Make sure that's over the edge. Then that will go up here at the top. You've got like a small edge here and a small edge on the other side. But obviously you want another edge here so that the blue stands through. Now I'm going to do the same with this one. Okay, so that's going up to the top, all the way across. There we go. Turn that one round. Sorry, I normally have a pad, but because I'm only using a slice of paper, it wriggles. Okay. Again, that's going to go up the top. There we go. And then the last piece is going to go I pull that too much, and then that will go up to the top there. So you could quite easily make quite a few of these with only a few supplies. Right, so that's now going to go layered onto the other side. Layered onto the other side. Layered onto the base card. Okay. And then what I might do is I'm going to bring in some of my antique pearls. Let's see where they are. There they are. So, yes, antique pearls. And bring through my pointy tool. Oh, we're done with it. Oh, it's right in front of me. It's amazing how you can't see things that are right in front of you. Bring that out. And then we can dot these around. Probably could have moved that over slightly more. It's a shame. But I think we can get away with it. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to put one large one up here. I'm going to put a on it. Actually, what I'm going to do going to move that one. Come on. Gently. Right, that's going to go to about there. And then I'm going to put this tiny one in the C. And sorry, the S. Good grief. There we go. And there is our quick and easy Christmas card with scraps of paper, or scraps of designer series paper. So there we go. So do join me on Friday when I will do my final card with our scraps of Christmas. Thanks ever so much. Take care and look forward to catching with you soon. Bye.